Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the English Playbook. I'm David.
And I'm Sarah. And folks, do we have an incredible episode for you today?
We absolutely do. This is episode 23, and today we're diving deep into something that affects every single one of us, every single day.
That's right. We're talking about healthy eating, nutrition, and lifestyle choices. And David, I have to say, this topic is so relevant right now.
It really is, Sarah. I was just reading the other day that more people than ever are trying to make better food choices, but there's so much conflicting information out there.
Exactly. One day coffee is bad for you, the next day it's a superfood. 1 minute eggs are terrible, then they're the perfect protein. It's exhausting.
So true. But here's what we're going to do today. We're going to break it all down in a fun, easy to understand way. We'll be exploring vocabulary, real life scenarios, and practical tips you can use starting today.
And the best part, we're going to do this through an entertaining dialogue between a couple, John and Kelly, who are trying to navigate the world of healthy eating together.
Spoiler alert, John loves his donuts.
Don't we all? But before we jump into the dialogue, let me ask you, David, on a scale of 1 to 10, how healthy would you say your eating habits are?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. I'd say maybe a 6.5. I try to eat well during the week, but weekends, let's just say pizza has my heart.
Honest answer. I respect that. I'm probably around a 7. I do pretty well with fruits and veggies, but I have a serious weakness for chocolate chip cookies.
See, this is why this episode is perfect for us and for our listeners. We're all on this journey together.
Absolutely. Now, over the next 100 minutes, we're going to cover everything from understanding food labels to making smart choices at the grocery store.
From organic foods to sustainable eating.
We'll break down essential vocabulary, explore common phrases about health and nutrition, and give you practical language skills you can use in real conversations.
Whether you're a native English speaker looking to expand your vocabulary or you're learning English and want to understand food-related conversations better.
This episode is for you.
So grab a healthy snack, maybe some carrot sticks or an apple.
Or, those donuts you've been hiding in the cupboard. No judgment here.
Fair enough. Let's get started. All right, so we're going to start by listening to a conversation between John and Kelly. They're a couple who recently decided to start eating healthier.
They've just arrived home from the grocery store, and they're unpacking their groceries. But here's the thing, they didn't shop together.
Uh-oh, I sense some conflict coming.
You know it. Let's listen to what happens. We'll play the dialogue through once, and then we'll come back and break it down piece by piece.
Here we go. Dialogue, play. Okay, darling, I got some pizzas, potato chips, hot dogs, and lots of cheese.
Oh, John, I thought we said we'd start eating right. Remember our new healthy lifestyle? That's all junk food.
Right. So what did you get?
Well, healthy food, of course. I got some whole wheat bread, skimmed milk, fresh fish, and organic carrots.
Organic? What's organic? Do we need organic carrots?
They were grown without using any chemicals that are harmful to our health. And yes, John, we need organic carrots.
Oh, so organic vegetables are the green option, right?
Yep, better for the environment and better for us.
Wait a minute. What's that?
Donuts.
Are they organic donuts?
No, John.
But I like donuts. Oh, Kelly, the donuts.
I love the irony here. She's lecturing John about his junk food and then boom, donuts in her bag.
We've all been there, right? We have the best intentions and then we see those donuts at the checkout counter.
Exactly. But this dialogue is actually perfect for our lesson because it's so realistic. This is how real people talk about food and health.
And it introduces us to some really important vocabulary and phrases that we use all the time in English when discussing nutrition and healthy eating.
And in this part of the lesson, we'll take a closer look at some of the key vocabulary and phrases used in the dialogue.
All right, let's dive into the vocabulary. Sarah, why don't you kick us off with the first term?
Absolutely. Our first term is whole wheat bread. Now, this is super common in grocery stores, especially in health-focused sections.
So let's break this down. What does whole wheat actually mean?
Great question. Whole wheat refers to bread made from wheat flour that includes all parts of the grain, the bran, the germ, and the endosperm.
And why is that important?
Because when you process wheat to make white bread, you remove the bran and the germ, which contain most of the fiber and nutrients. So whole wheat bread is much more nutritious.
You'll notice that whole wheat bread is usually brown in color, not white. That's because it contains all those natural parts of the grain.
Exactly. And here's a fun fact. Whole wheat bread has more fiber, which helps with digestion and keeps you feeling full longer.
Let me give you some example sentences. I switched from white bread to whole wheat bread, and I feel so much better.
Or, do you have any whole wheat bread? I'm trying to eat healthier.
Perfect. Now let's move on to our next term, skimmed milk, or sometimes called skim milk.
Oh, this is a good one. So, David, when milk comes straight from a cow, what's it like?
Well, it's full of fat. Natural milk has quite a bit of fat content.
That's right. So, skimmed milk is milk that has had most or all of the fat removed during processing.
The dairy company literally skims the fat off the top of the milk. That's where the term comes from.
And this makes it one of the healthiest milk options if you're watching your fat intake.
Now, there are different types of milk based on fat content. Can you walk us through those, Sarah?
Sure, you have whole milk. This has all the natural fat, usually around 3.5% fat.
2% milk, also called reduced fat milk, has 2% fat.
1% milk, also called low-fat milk, has 1% fat.
Skimmed milk, or fat-free milk, has virtually no fat, usually less than 0.5%.
And the taste changes too. Whole milk is creamier and richer, while skimmed milk is lighter and more watery.
Exactly. Some people love whole milk because of the taste, while others prefer skimmed milk because it's lower in calories. Here's an example. I used to drink whole milk, but I switched to skimmed milk to reduce my calorie intake.
Or, can I get a latte with skimmed milk, please?
Perfect. Now let's talk about one of the biggest buzzwords in food today, organic.
Oh, this is everywhere. Organic this, organic that. But what does it actually mean?
Great question. At its most basic level, organic means something that comes from nature, from living organisms.
But in the context of food, organic has a very specific meaning. Organic foods are grown or raised without the use of synthetic chemicals, pesticides, or artificial fertilizers.
Right. So when you see organic carrots in the store, it means those carrots were grown without chemical pesticides or synthetic fertilizers.
And it's not just vegetables. You can have organic meat, which means the animals were raised without antibiotics or growth hormones, and they were fed organic food.
Organic farming is also better for the environment because it doesn't use those harsh chemicals that can contaminate soil and water.
That's why Kelly in our dialogue called organic vegetables the green option. Green meaning environmentally friendly.
Now, here's something interesting. Organic food is usually more expensive. Why is that?
Well, it's more labor-intensive to grow food organically. Farmers can't use chemical pesticides, so they have to use other methods to control pests. The yields are often smaller, too.
But many people believe it's worth the extra cost because of the health benefits and environmental impact.
Let me give you some examples. I only buy organic vegetables because I'm worried about pesticides.
Or, this restaurant uses organic ingredients in all their dishes.
The organic section of the grocery store keeps getting bigger every year.
Excellent examples. Now, let's talk about chemicals.
So, in our dialogue, Kelly mentions that organic carrots are grown without using any chemicals that are harmful to our health.
Now, technically, everything is made of chemicals. Water is a chemical compound. But in everyday language, when we talk about chemicals in food, we mean synthetic or artificial substances.
Exactly. We're talking about things like pesticides, chemicals sprayed on crops to kill insects, herbicides, chemicals used to kill weeds, preservatives, chemicals added to food to make it last longer, and artificial colors and flavors, synthetic chemicals used to change how food looks or tastes.
And the concern is that some of these chemicals might be harmful to human health, especially when consumed over long periods.
That's why many people try to avoid foods with lots of added chemicals and choose more natural options.
Here's an example. I try to avoid foods with artificial chemicals and preservatives.
Or, these apples were grown without harmful chemicals.
Great. Now, before we move on to phrases, let's quickly review. We've covered whole wheat bread, skimmed milk, organic, and chemicals.
These are foundational terms for talking about healthy eating in English. You'll hear them constantly in grocery stores, restaurants, and health discussions.
And we're just getting started. We've got so much more to cover.
All right, now let's move into some essential phrases. These are expressions you'll hear all the time when people talk about health and nutrition.
Our first phrase is eating right. Sarah, what does it mean to eat right?
So, eating right doesn't mean eating with proper table manners. It's not about how you hold your fork.
Good clarification.
Eating right means eating healthy, nutritious food. It's about making good food choices.
This phrase became really popular in America in the late 1980s and early 1990s when there was a big public health push to get people to eat healthier.
And it's stuck around because it's such a simple, positive way to talk about healthy eating. You're not dieting, you're eating right.
Exactly. It sounds less restrictive, more positive.
When you eat right, you're eating plenty of vegetables and fruits, choosing whole grains over refined grains, limiting sugar and unhealthy fats, eating balanced meals, not overeating.
Let me give you some examples. I've been eating right for 3 months and I feel amazing.
My doctor told me I need to start eating right if I want to lower my cholesterol.
Eating right doesn't mean you can never have dessert. It's about balance.
Perfect. Now, the opposite of eating right is eating junk food.
Ah, junk food, the delicious enemy of healthy eating.
Right? So, junk means garbage, trash, worthless stuff. So, junk food is basically garbage food, food that has very little nutritional value.
Junk food is typically high in calories, high in sugar, salt, or unhealthy fats, low in vitamins, minerals, and other nutrients, and heavily processed.
Common examples of junk food include potato chips, candy bars, soda, fast food burgers and fries, donuts, ice cream, cookies.
Now here's the tragedy. Junk food usually tastes amazing.
That's the whole problem. It's designed to taste good and make you want more. That's why it's so hard to resist.
But eating too much junk food can lead to serious health problems like obesity, diabetes, heart disease, and other conditions.
That's why John and Kelly are trying to cut back on it. Here are some example sentences. I'm trying to cut junk food out of my diet.
My kids love junk food, but I try to limit how much they eat.
I know I shouldn't, but sometimes I just crave junk food.
That last one is so relatable. Now let's talk about our final key phrase, healthy lifestyle.
This is such an important concept. Notice we don't say healthy life, we say healthy lifestyle.
What's the difference?
Well, your life is just your existence, but your lifestyle is the way you choose to live, your habits, choices, and behaviors.
So a healthy lifestyle encompasses everything you do to stay healthy. It's much broader than just food.
Exactly. A healthy lifestyle includes diet, eating nutritious food, exercise, staying physically active, sleep, getting enough quality rest, stress management, finding ways to relax and cope with stress, avoiding harmful substances, not smoking, limiting alcohol, regular health checkups, seeing doctors and dentists regularly, mental health, taking care of your emotional well-being, social connections, maintaining good relationships.
Wow, so it's really holistic. It's about your whole approach to health.
Exactly. You can eat perfectly healthy food, but if you never exercise, sleep only 4 hours a night, and are constantly stressed, you don't really have a healthy lifestyle.
That's such an important point. Health is about balance in all areas.
Here are some examples. I've been trying to maintain a healthy lifestyle by exercising regularly and eating well.
Adopting a healthy lifestyle has completely changed how I feel every day.
A healthy lifestyle isn't about being perfect, it's about making better choices most of the time.
I love that last one. It's so true and so encouraging.
Right? It takes the pressure off. You don't have to be perfect.
All right, so let's review our key phrases. Eating right, eating healthy food, junk food, unhealthy food with little nutritional value, healthy lifestyle, a way of living that promotes overall health and well-being.
These phrases are essential for discussing health topics in English. You'll hear them in conversations, read them in articles, see them in advertisements.
All right, we've covered the basic vocabulary and phrases. Now let's go deeper into specific food groups and why they matter.
Great idea. Let's start with fruits and vegetables.
These are the superstars of healthy eating. Everyone knows we should eat more fruits and veggies, but why exactly?
Well, fruits and vegetables are packed with vitamins, minerals, fiber, antioxidants, and water. They're naturally low in calories and fat, so you can eat a lot of them without gaining weight.
Exactly. Health experts recommend eating a variety of colorful fruits and vegetables because different colors provide different nutrients.
Can you explain that color concept?
Sure, think of it like this. Orange and yellow, carrots, oranges, bell peppers, high in vitamin C and beta-carotene. Red, tomatoes, strawberries, red peppers contain lycopene and other antioxidants. Green, spinach, broccoli, kale, rich in iron, calcium, and vitamins. Purple or blue, blueberries, eggplant, purple cabbage, packed with antioxidants. And white, cauliflower, onions, garlic, contain compounds that support immune health.
So the advice, eat the rainbow, actually makes scientific sense.
Exactly. Here's an example sentence. I try to eat a variety of colorful vegetables every day to get different nutrients.
Adding more fruits and vegetables to my diet has really improved my energy levels.
Perfect. Now let's talk about whole grains.
We mentioned whole wheat bread earlier, but let's expand on this.
So grains are foods like wheat, rice, oats, corn, and barley. They're a major source of carbohydrates, which give us energy.
But there's a big difference between whole grains and refined grains.
Right. Whole grains contain all three parts of the grain. The bran, the outer layer, contains fiber and B vitamins. The germ, the core, contains healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals. And the endosperm, the middle layer, contains carbohydrates and protein.
But when grains are refined to make white bread, white rice, and white pasta, the bran and germ are removed.
Which means you lose most of the fiber and nutrients. You're left with mostly just carbohydrates.
So whole grains are much healthier because they keep you full longer, provide steady energy instead of sugar spikes, support digestive health, reduce risk of heart disease and diabetes.
Examples of whole grains include brown rice instead of white rice, whole wheat bread instead of white bread, oatmeal, quinoa, whole grain pasta, barley.
Here's a useful sentence. I switched from white rice to brown rice because whole grains are better for my health.
Oatmeal is a great whole grain breakfast that keeps me full all morning.
Excellent. Now let's discuss proteins.
Protein is absolutely essential. It's what your body uses to build and repair tissues, make enzymes and hormones, and support your immune system.
Your muscles, bones, skin, hair, they all need protein.
There are many sources of protein. Animal proteins include chicken and turkey, fish and seafood, beef and pork, eggs, dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt. Plant proteins include beans and lentils, nuts and seeds, tofu and tempeh, quinoa.
And different proteins have different benefits. For example, fish is high in omega-3 fatty acids, which are great for heart and brain health.
Eggs are called a complete protein because they contain all the essential amino acids your body needs.
And plant proteins are great for people who don't eat meat, plus they're often high in fiber.
Here's an example. I try to eat a variety of protein sources, including fish, chicken, and beans.
Eggs are my favorite breakfast protein because they're nutritious and quick to make.
Perfect. Now, dairy products. Let's talk about milk, cheese, and yogurt.
Dairy is famous for one thing in particular, calcium.
That's right. Calcium is essential for building strong bones and teeth, muscle function, nerve signaling, and blood clotting.
Children and teenagers especially need calcium because their bones are still growing.
But adults need it too to maintain bone density and prevent osteoporosis later in life.
Common dairy products include milk, whole, 2%, 1%, or skimmed, cheese, cheddar, mozzarella, Swiss, yogurt, regular, Greek, or plant-based alternatives.
Now, some people are lactose intolerant, which means they can't digest the sugar in milk properly.
For those people, there are alternatives like lactose-free milk, almond milk, soy milk, oat milk, coconut milk.
These alternatives are often fortified with calcium and vitamin D to match the nutritional content of regular milk.
Here's an example. I drink a glass of milk every day to make sure I get enough calcium.
I switched to almond milk since I'm lactose intolerant.
Great. Now let's talk about water and healthy drinks.
Oh, this is so important. Many people focus on food but forget about what they're drinking.
Water is absolutely the best beverage for your body. It keeps you hydrated, helps regulate body temperature, supports digestion, flushes out toxins, keeps skin healthy, helps transport nutrients.
Health experts recommend drinking about 8 glasses or 64 ounces or about 2 liters of water per day.
But that can vary based on your activity level, climate, and individual needs.
Other healthy drinks include herbal teas, caffeine-free and can have various health benefits, green tea, high in antioxidants, fresh fruit juice in moderation, provides vitamins but also has natural sugar, and milk provides calcium and protein.
Now, let's talk about drinks to avoid or limit.
Unhealthy drinks include soda, loaded with sugar, about 10 teaspoons per can. Energy drinks, high in caffeine and sugar. Sweetened coffee drinks can have as many calories as a meal. Fruit juice with added sugar lacks fiber and has concentrated sugar. And alcohol, high in calories and has various health risks.
A single can of soda can contain more than your entire recommended daily sugar intake.
That's shocking. Here's an example sentence. I stopped drinking soda and switched to water, and I lost 10 pounds.
I love herbal tea in the evening because it helps me relax without caffeine.
Instead of fruit juice, I eat whole fruits to get the fiber and lower calories.
All right, David, let's talk about something really practical, how to actually shop for healthy food.
Yes, because knowing what's healthy is one thing, but navigating a grocery store is another challenge entirely.
So true. Let's start with reading food labels. This is a crucial skill.
When you pick up any packaged food, there's a label called the Nutrition Facts label. Let's break down what to look for.
First, check the serving size. This is super important because all the nutritional information is based on one serving.
And here's the trick. The package might contain multiple servings, so if you eat the whole thing, you need to multiply all the numbers.
Right. For example, a bag of chips might say 150 calories per serving, but the bag contains 3 servings. So if you eat the whole bag, that's 450 calories.
Next, look at calories. This tells you how much energy you're getting from one serving.
Then check these key items: total fat, especially saturated fat and trans fat, sodium or salt, total carbohydrates including sugar and fiber, protein, vitamins, and minerals.
Health experts say to limit saturated fat, trans fat, which should be 0 or close to 0, sodium, and added sugars.
And try to get more of fiber, vitamins A, C, D, calcium, iron, and potassium.
One trick is the 5-20 rule. If a nutrient has 5% or less of the daily value, it's low in that nutrient. If it has 20% or more, it's high.
So you want foods that are low in bad stuff, saturated fat, sodium, sugar, and high in good stuff like fiber, vitamins, minerals.
Another important thing, check the ingredients list. Ingredients are listed in order by weight, so the first few ingredients are what the food mostly contains.
If sugar is one of the first 3 ingredients, that's a red flag.
Also, watch out for different names for sugar. Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, sucrose, maltose, they're all sugar.
Great point. Now let's talk about shopping strategies. Where should you shop in the grocery store?
There's a famous rule, shop the perimeter of the store.
Exactly, because that's where the fresh, whole foods usually are. The produce section, fruits and vegetables, the meat and seafood counter, the dairy section, the bakery for fresh bread.
The middle aisles tend to have more processed, packaged foods.
Now, that doesn't mean never go in the middle aisles. You can find healthy items there, like whole grain pasta and rice, canned beans and vegetables, nuts and seeds, oatmeal, olive oil.
But you have to be more selective and read labels carefully.
Here are some shopping tips. Tip 1, make a list before you go and stick to it. This helps you avoid impulse purchases of junk food.
Tip 2, don't shop when you're hungry. Everything looks good when you're starving, and you'll buy stuff you don't need.
Tip 3, buy seasonal produce. It's fresher, tastes better, and is usually cheaper.
Tip 4, consider frozen fruits and vegetables. They're picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen, so they're very nutritious and last longer.
Tip 5, compare prices by unit cost, price per ounce or pound, not just total price. Sometimes the larger package is actually more expensive per ounce.
Tip 6, don't be fooled by marketing claims on the front of packages. Words like natural, multigrain, or made with real fruit don't necessarily mean healthy.
Tip 7, buy generic or store brands for basics like milk, eggs, rice, and beans. They're usually just as good as name brands, but cheaper.
Here's an example sentence. I always read the nutrition label before buying packaged foods.
Shopping the perimeter of the grocery store helps me avoid junk food.
I learned to compare unit prices, and now I save so much money.
David, I think we should bust some common diet myths. There's so much misinformation out there.
Great idea. Let's separate facts from fiction.
Myth number 1, carbs are bad and will make you fat.
Oh, this one drives me crazy. The truth is, carbohydrates are not your enemy. Your body needs carbs for energy, especially your brain.
The problem is when people eat too many refined carbs, white bread, white pasta, sugary foods. These cause blood sugar spikes and don't keep you full.
But complex carbohydrates from whole grains, fruits, and vegetables are actually very healthy and important for a balanced diet.
Exactly. Myth number 2, eating fat makes you fat.
This myth was huge in the 1990s, and it led to all those low-fat products flooding the market.
Right, but when they removed the fat, they often added sugar to make it taste better. So people weren't actually healthier.
The truth is, healthy fats are essential. Fats from sources like avocados, nuts, and seeds, olive oil, fatty fish like salmon and mackerel, these are good for your heart, brain, and overall health.
The fats to avoid are trans fats and excessive saturated fats from fried foods and processed snacks.
Myth number 4. You should eat many small meals throughout the day to boost metabolism.
This has been popular advice, but recent research shows it doesn't really matter whether you eat 3 meals or 6 small meals.
What matters is the total calories and quality of food you eat, not the timing or frequency.
Some people do better with small, frequent meals. Others prefer 3 meals. It's about finding what works for you.
Myth number 5. Fresh is always better than frozen.
We touched on this earlier, but it's worth repeating. Frozen fruits and vegetables are often just as nutritious, sometimes more so.
Because they're frozen right after harvest at peak ripeness. Fresh produce might sit in trucks and stores for days or weeks, losing nutrients.
Plus, frozen is convenient, lasts longer, and reduces food waste.
Myth number 5. Detox diets and cleanses clean out toxins from your body.
Oh boy, this is a big industry. But here's the truth. Your liver and kidneys are already excellent at removing toxins. That's literally their job.
There's no scientific evidence that juice cleanses or detox teas remove toxins better than your body's natural processes.
These cleanses are often expensive and can actually be harmful because they're very low in calories and nutrients.
If you want to help your body detox, just eat a balanced diet, drink plenty of water, and get enough sleep.
Myth number 6. All calories are equal.
This is technically true in terms of energy, but nutritionally, not at all.
200 calories from donuts versus 200 calories from salmon and vegetables, your body processes these very differently.
The salmon and vegetables provide protein, healthy fats, vitamins, minerals, and fiber. The donut gives you sugar and refined carbs that spike your blood sugar.
One keeps you full and energized, the other leaves you hungry and tired an hour later.
So it's not just about counting calories, it's about the quality of those calories you eat.
All right, David, let's give our listeners some actionable tips they can start using today.
Love it. Tip number 1, start small. Don't try to overhaul your entire diet overnight.
Exactly. Maybe just start by adding 1 serving of vegetables to your lunch or swapping white bread for whole wheat.
Small changes add up over time and are much more sustainable than drastic changes.
Tip number 2, plan your meals ahead of time.
Meal planning is a game changer.
When you plan meals for the week, you're less likely to order takeout or grab junk food.
Take an hour on Sunday to plan your meals, make a shopping list, and maybe even prep some ingredients.
Tip number 3, cook at home more often.
Restaurant food, even at healthy places, tends to have more salt, fat, and sugar than homemade food.
Plus, cooking at home is cheaper and you have complete control over ingredients.
You don't have to be a chef. Start with simple recipes and gradually build your skills.
Tip number 4, use smaller plates.
This is a psychological trick. When you use a large plate, a normal portion looks small, so you serve yourself more.
But the same portion on a smaller plate looks more satisfying and you're less likely to overeat.
Tip number 5, eat slowly and mindfully.
Put down your phone, turn off the TV, and actually pay attention to your food.
It takes about 20 minutes for your brain to register that you're full. If you eat too fast, you'll overeat before your body realizes it.
Tip number 6, don't keep junk food in the house.
The best way to avoid eating junk food is to not have it available.
If you really want chips or cookies, you'll have to make a special trip to get them, which makes you think twice.
Tip number 7, stay hydrated.
Sometimes when you think you're hungry, you're actually just thirsty.
Try drinking a glass of water first. If you're still hungry after 10 minutes, then eat something.
Tip number 8, don't skip breakfast.
There's a reason it's called the most important meal of the day. A healthy breakfast jumpstarts your metabolism and gives you energy.
Plus, people who eat breakfast tend to make better food choices throughout the day.
Tip number 9, practice the 80-20 rule.
What's that?
Eat healthy foods 80% of the time and allow yourself to enjoy treats 20% of the time.
This prevents you from feeling deprived and makes healthy eating sustainable long term.
Tip number 10, read labels, but don't obsess.
It's good to be informed about what you're eating, but don't let it consume your life.
Find a balance between being mindful and still enjoying food.
All right, Sarah, let's listen to our original dialogue one more time. I think our listeners will understand so much more now.
You know, hearing it again after all our discussion, I noticed so many details I didn't catch the first time.
Me too, like how Kelly says organic vegetables are the green option. Now we know that means environmentally friendly.
And the irony of her buying donuts while criticizing John's junk food is even funnier now.
It shows that we're all human. Even when we have good intentions, we slip up sometimes.
And that's okay. That's what the 80-20 rule is all about.
Well, folks, we've covered a lot of ground today. Let's quickly recap the main points.
We learned essential vocabulary like whole wheat bread, skimmed milk, organic, and chemicals.
We explored key phrases, eating right, junk food, and healthy lifestyle.
We did a deep dive into food groups, fruits and vegetables, whole grains, proteins, dairy, and healthy drinks.
We learned how to read food labels and shop smart at the grocery store.
We busted some common diet myths.
And we gave you 10 practical tips for eating healthier starting today.
Remember, this isn't about perfection. It's about making better choices most of the time and being kind to yourself.
Small, sustainable changes are better than drastic diets that you can't maintain.
And healthy eating should be enjoyable, not a punishment.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us on the English Playbook today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends.
And let us know in the comments, what's your favorite healthy food? What's your biggest challenge with eating right?
We'll be back next week with another exciting episode. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and keep playing.
Stay healthy, everyone.